I think something followed me home from an abandoned storage unit. I never thought I'd be posting here, but I genuinely don't know where else to turn. I work as a manager at a storage facility just outside of Portland, and what started as a routine cleanout has turned into something I can't explain. Last week, we had to clear out Unit 247 after the owner stopped paying rent for 6 months. Standard procedure? Nothing unusual. The weird thing was, according to our records, this unit had been continuously rented by the same person since 1987. 37 years of perfect payments. Then suddenly, nothing. When we cut the lock, I immediately noticed the musty smell. Not the usual dust and cardboard smell you get from old units, but something different. Earthier, almost like wet soil and copper. The unit was packed with the usual stuff, old furniture, boxes, the kind of things people forget about for decades. But everything looked untouched, with this thick layer of gray dust coating every surface. As I was cataloging items for auction, I found this small wooden box tucked behind a vintage dresser. It was maybe 6 inches square, carved with these intricate symbols I'd never seen before. No lock, just a simple metal latch. I know I shouldn't have, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened it. It was empty. Completely empty. But the moment I closed it, I swear I heard something like a whisper coming from behind me. When I turned around, nothing was there, just the shadows from my flashlight dancing on the walls. I finished the inventory and went home. But guys, that's when things started getting weird. That night, I kept waking up to this scratching sound coming from inside my walls. I figured it was mice at first, but it would stop the moment I got up to investigate. And it only happened in whatever room I was in. The next morning, all the photos in my apartment were tilted exactly 45 degrees. Every single one. I know how this sounds, but I live alone, and my doors were locked. The scratching is getting louder now, and sometimes, just as I'm falling asleep, I think I can make out words in it. I'm going to set up some cameras tonight. I'll update if I catch anything. Edit. A lot of you are asking about the box. Yes, I still have it. I tried to leave it at work, but somehow it ended up in my bag when I got home. I've tried throwing it away twice now, but it keeps showing up on my kitchen counter. I don't know what to do. Update. Things have gotten worse. Much worse. The cameras I set up didn't record anything useful, or rather, they recorded something impossible. In every room at exactly 3:27 a.m., there's a 2-minute gap in the footage. Not static, not darkness. The timestamp just jumps ahead, like something cut out those exact moments. But that's not even the scariest part. Yesterday morning, I woke up to find all my furniture rearranged, not thrown around like you'd expect from a break-in, but meticulously positioned to mirror the exact layout of that storage unit. The dresser, the boxes, everything. It took me a minute to realize what I was looking at, but when it clicked, my blood ran cold. I called in sick to work and spent the day researching those symbols from the box. A professor from the local university's anthropology department got back to me. She said they're related to an obscure Estonian folk ritual, something about containing displaced spirits. She wanted to see the box in person, but when I went to get it from my counter where I'd left it, it was gone. That's when my phone rang. The number showed up as all zeros, and I almost didn't answer. I wish I hadn't. There was no voice on the other end, just that scratching sound from my walls, but this time it was forming clear words. Thank you for letting me out. I'm writing this from my car in a Walmart parking lot. I can't go back to my apartment. The scratching followed me the first motel I tried. I'm running on energy drinks and fear. I've got one lead, though. I managed to track down the original owner of the storage unit. Their daughter still lives in the area. I'm meeting her tomorrow. I'll update again when I can. If anyone knows anything about Estonian spirit boxes or how to put something back once it's been let out, please help. Final update. I'm safe now. I think. But I need to tell you what happened when I met Sarah, the storage unit owner's daughter. She wasn't surprised to see me. The moment I mentioned Unit 247, she just closed her eyes and whispered, "It got out, didn't it?" Then she told me everything. Her father was an Estonian immigrant who worked as a paranormal investigator in the 80s. That storage unit wasn't just for storage, it was a containment facility. The box I found? It was designed to trap a specific type of entity they called a Vargeline, a shadow dweller that feeds on memories and slowly replaces them with itself. Sarah's father caught it in 1987 after it had already consumed 3 families in the Portland area. The box was the only thing that could hold it, but it had to be kept in a space lined with specific protective symbols. Those weren't random stains on the storage unit walls. They were carefully painted wards, hidden under decades of dust. When I opened the box, well, you know what happened next. But Sarah knew how to fix it. Her father had taught her everything before he died. That's why the payments stopped. He passed away 6 months ago. We spent 3 days preparing. Salt circles, ancient chants, and a new box carved with symbols that took hours to perfect. The ritual had to be performed in my apartment, where the entity had made its new nest. I won't share the exact details of what happened, partly because Sarah made me promise not to, and partly because I still can't fully process it. But I will say this: the scratching turned to screaming, the shadows became solid, and for a moment I saw what had been following me. I understand now why Sarah's father dedicated his life to keeping it contained. It's been 2 weeks since we trapped it in the new box. Sarah stored it somewhere safe. She wouldn't tell me where, and honestly, I don't want to know. The scratching has stopped. My furniture is back to normal. The only evidence that any of this happened is a small scar on my left palm from the ritual, and sometimes, when I'm alone at night, the faintest whisper of something that sounds like my name. Sarah gave me her father's journal. She said I should know what I'm dealing with, in case it ever gets out again. I haven't opened it yet. I'm not sure I want to know what else is out there, what other boxes might be waiting to be opened. I'm back at work now, but I've given up my manager position. I still can't walk past Unit 247 without my heart racing. Some doors are meant to stay locked, some boxes meant to stay closed. I know that now. This will be my final update. Thank you all for your support through this nightmare. And please, if you ever come across a small wooden box carved with symbols you don't understand, leave it alone.